Hello everyone. Salut Rosé. Well, no. I guess fuck off Jose since you're not here, right? Hello Rich. Chris. Thomas. Thomas is back. Hope you're in good health. Salut Compare Vinyle. Zalvia. Salut Mauricio. Gidget Frank. A Perfect Prescription. Joe Carbon Records. Bigger Dirk. Hello Stéphane. Ed. Yes, Brass. Amongst a very heavy week in the world, won't lie, felt a little helpless this week, huh? Well, on top of it, Sly Dunbar left us. Hello Android's Revenge, Eclectic Vinyl. Hello Dagon. Salut Millennium Mambo. Hello Max. Hello KS. Yeah, so this tune from Sly and Robbie, from their probably most successful album under their own name. For those who don't know, this is the Jamaican rhythm section that was the shit that everyone wanted to work with during the 80s and far beyond, by the way. Well, this is the B-side of the single of the 85 album. This is not Make Them Move. This is Move a Little More, which is kind of which is very helpful since the original tune features Africa Bambaataa on vocals. This is a dub where he's nowhere to be found. Salut Analog. Yeah, Taxi Gang, indeed, Ed. And these features Bill Laswell on production, members of Funkadelic, 12-inch 45 RPM EP single. Now it gets really dubby. Hello Rev, how you doing? Yeah, they all play together with Black Guru. This was produced by, what's his name again? Paul Gruncius Mikkel, who started his career as, he made cover art and illustrations for reggae records in Jamaica. I think he did the back cover with the big fat joint on that Bob Marley album from mid-70s, second half of the 70s. Kaya, I think, yeah. Yeah. But he did some cool stuff as well. Good evening, Zetman, how you doing? Hello, GCs. Ah, nice. Hello, Daniel. And by the way, thank you, Frankie Jet, for leaving a nice little tip in the coffee jar, and Chris for leaving a massive, very, very, very nice tip already in the coffee jar. And thank you, Thomas, for leaving a very nice tip tip in the PayPal jar. And Bernd, thank you Bernd for leaving a very nice tip as well. Well, off to a good start. Ooh. How are we doing today? Yeah, as I was saying, not the easiest of times, huh? Still pretty cold here. We're still under the snow and it looks like it's not gonna go above 0 for the next 2 weeks here. So make them move, see? Mr. Sly Dunbar. I should have used that picture actually. Yeah, I say often that when a musician that I like or even love passes away, it's very rare that it affects me on a real emotional level. I won't say that I was sad by Sly's passing. I mean, he had a good life, he had a good run. And it's just a page in the book that turns, and we hope that current musicians will be worthy of him. Future Phase, hello! I think it's the first time I see that alias here, so welcome. Hello Matthew. Yeah, a little bit. Cheers, Ben. Yeah, exactly. Hello KS, how you doing? So now we're listening to an exceptional record as far as I'm concerned. Came out late 2023, early 2024. Oh, wait, no. Let me double check. Maybe late 2024. But it was a journey to get this to reach me. Let me see if I can find the link for you. Yeah, late 2024. This is a New Zealand record, or more specifically a Maui record. But that was released on a New Zealand label. So it's a duo of Ricky Piri and Abigail Aroa Jensen. Tupiki, which is basically 12 tracks. It's a concept album that is sort of an illustration, a musical illustration. That first track I love. I'll let it play a little more. The 12 stages of ascending to heaven in Maui culture. Hello John. How you doing, my friend? Hello Arlo. Moins calme que la dernière fois, hein, ouais. So yeah, I really love the packaging of that record as well. I mean, You can't see it, but the texture of this gatefold. This gatefold cover. And yeah. The range of instruments featured here is just like insane. A lot of instruments I don't even know. Putorino, Pikaea, Koao, Purerua, Poi Awihaoio, Porititi, Tumu, Due, Karanga, Karanga Kaka, Ipu Korero, Ahakeke, Chimes, Pingao, Shells, Kahatu, Zephyr, Field Recordings, Electronics, Bells, Bell Tower, Voice, Rutman, Cello, Gongs, water percussions, cymbals, kettle drum, modular synthesizer, vibes, kalimba, tongue drum, organ, and live effect manipulations. Here's the link to that record. Hello, I'm one of us. Okay, I get you. Yeah, I mean, it's still sort of a Damocles sword over my head with the technical issues, but now I have hopefully a solution until I have a safe solution. Hello, DJ Mr. Joel, how are you doing? Yeah. Salut Arthur, how are you doing? Ah, good point, KS. It's true though, huh? Usually get after a week about 1,100-1,200 views on the videos on the stream, and struggling to reach the 100 likes to the video, which costs nothing. There's so far 5 people who left tips in the coffee jars. Thank you, OGCs, much appreciated. So for all of you who don't tip your DJ of the night, at least, come on. That's only good manners, isn't it? Exactly. Casino Clams, how are you doing? Hello, Artnulart. Great. Yeah, last week I played and chatted with l'Image. Which I think was probably, since I started to do these impromptu guest chats, probably the most successful. And I'm really glad that the next day I heard from the label and from the artist that they had sold like 20 plus records during the first day. I don't know how many they sold eventually in a week, but I thought that record would resonate with a lot of people, as it did with me. And I know a couple of you aren't too fond of that new format, but every now and then, or more, we'll see. Hello, Quint. Yeah. Hello, Ryan. How you doing? Cheap dog. Sad bums. I don't know what you're talking about, but let's not go into that. Thank you. Analog 76. Yeah. Well, I try my best. Cheers. OGCs. Hello, Abbott. Callum. How you doing? Yeah, it was. So that record, I think they only did 100 copies on vinyl. It's not especially expensive, but to have to get it here, that was a little bit of a journey. And I thank Fred, Big Star 1000, for being the go-between. I had it shipped to him so he could ship it to me. Sort of Demiurge record, a whole world in itself. Absolutely stunning recording, concept, execution. There's a few records like that lately, and that have caught my attention with their capacity of creating a whole world in itself. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Cheers, Dom. How you doing? Catherine O'Hara. Who's that again? Hello, Alex. Here's a record that I obsessed with for quite some time now. It's a pretty elusive record. I didn't know how long it would take to find a copy of it, and here it is. Thank you, Joe. Carbon Records, for leaving a nice little tip in the coffee jar as well. So what are we listening to right now? Someone that impacted 2025 quite massively. One of the most exciting records of last year, even if it was an archival release, something that had never been released when it was composed or performed. But this is another story. This was released in 1990. And this is one of the two only proper albums by Kristen Noguès. Kernelek, French Celtic harpist, passed away way too young in the early 90s or mid 90s, yeah. And this was the reason why this is so elusive is that actually she passed away in the 2000s. Now I remember that, but still pretty young, like in her early 50s. And when I said one of her two only albums, or two only vinyl releases, obviously, up until that album with John Sermon that was released last year by Souffle Continu, unexpectedly, even for them, it was just an old recording John Sermon had, and when he noticed that Souffle Continu had reissued her other album, vinyl record, the first one, he said, "Oh, I have this, are you interested?" So this was recorded in Germany. It's not just a German release, it's a German production. Okay, I get it now. I know who that is now. Hello, Andras. Yeah, Dom did a little bit of a political V1 for once. That was good. I said hello early, Rich. How are you doing? Hello, Balearic. Let's talk, Joe, let's talk. Hello, Billy Bob. Oh well. Hello, Chris M, how you doing? Pretty neat, unique sound on this one. Thank you, 808 and Ryan Smith for leaving nice tips in the coffee jar as well. Merci. Kristen Noguès record. Let's see if I have the link here. So imagine, yes, this being released in 1990 on vinyl with that kind of music. Who knows how many they pressed? Maybe 1,000, maybe less. Difficult to figure that one out. Now a record that will be much easier to find.
Are you listening? Are you fish?
A splendid
Are you listening?
archival release as well. Came out late last year. This I pre-ordered on day one.
Are you a man? A man. Are you? Are you?
I would dare to say that the talent on this is not far apart from the Sly and Robbie unit. So this is Peter Gordon and David Cunningham. The Yellow Box. I think this was issued maybe on CD or something in the 90s as well. Even if this was recorded in 83, between 81 and 83, between London and Geneva. So you got Peter Gordon on saxophone, piano, keyboards, percussion and guitar, David Cunningham on guitars, loops and treatments, prepared piano, percussion and keyboards. So it's sort of a guitar album. It also features John Greaves on bass, Anton Fear on drums from the Golden Palaminos, and David Van Tighem on percussion on one track. Nice. The first Kristen Noguès. Hello Thomas, how you doing?
I like the unpopular statement.
Boredom's fan. I like them just enough. I've seen them live a couple of times. I've seen members of theirs in many other projects. Wouldn't say I'm a fan though, but yeah, they're an exciting band for sure. Well, Thomas is saying that there is one copy of the record. Very expensive one though. Yamatsuka, we'll get to that. Hello Andrew, how you doing?
I like the unpopular statement.
See you soon, Joe.
I'm fond of it. I think it's part of your vocation.
Cheers, Daniel. Yeah, tipping time. Thank you, Daniel, for leaving a nice tip in the very nice tip in the coffee jar, as well as John Coltrane. Coltrane. Sean from Birth Defects. Thank you, Sean. Ah, yeah. Very, very cool record. Let me put the link of this one,
Unpopular statement.
if I can find it. It came out on this Italian label called Weekend Records that has been pretty good at releasing stuff like that, like archival or forgotten CDs from the 80s, 90s. Let's see here. Hello, Blue Train. Thank you for your tip. And here's the record. Yeah, that's it. 1996 originally. Hello, record hound. How you doing? Yeah, that's good. Good enough. Christopher, how you doing, my friend? Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice one, Future Phase. Now a record that defies qualification, defies genre. Degrees of separations. This is a Swiss record, after this being half recorded in Geneva. I believe this is sort of a private affair, private press affair. Huh? Hello, I'm Dede, how you doing? Hulo, Aram Kumkata, how you doing? Welcome. Nice one, Troy. Hello, Raf, how you doing? Oh yeah, I saw that. So this is not the easiest record to explain. This is Fize, Kulahata Mamnua, who is in the 1986 in Switzerland as a private press and reissued on Mensch Records a little later. Fize has also another album that is sort of a mishmash of this and others that was reissued in 2023. But this is pure Nurse's Wound territory, influenced also by Pacific Ocean music. Ivan, it is what it is, huh? It's pretty cool, that's what it is. Here's the link to this copy, to this pressing. I've been after that record for quite a while. Just waited for the right copy, the right price. It's not completely impossible to find. It's not excessively expensive either, but you have to know when it's worth being a little patient. This was always going to be something I enjoy listening to, so I could be a tiny bit patient. Yeah, creakiness. My favorite Nurse's record. I mean, just the package is amazing, I would say. The only info I could find here in the name of the record. And there's a little sticker here with the origin of the record. See, that's train spotting, guys. I indeed flashed it on a stream with Michael 45. I didn't play it. I reserved it for our stream. But Christopher, cheeky bastard, huh? So the name of the track here, huh? Difficult to say, huh? There's no track listing on the record itself there, but I would hazard that this is Mélodie Mensch / Nuit Blanche, White Night. White night in French means a night you don't sleep, a sleepless night. Intentionally so, most often. Yeah, try that, Stefan. Wow. So how did you get to it, Christopher, since there's nothing on the cover almost, apart from the... Did you manage to screenshot the name of the record, identify it, and just... Wow, that's dedication. But I'm like that as well, so... One more reason why we're friends, huh? Yeah. World premiere 40 years late, since this was released literally 40 years ago. Yeah. Well, I got that one on... I got the the double LP of that. That was a crazy purchase. That record is just dope from start to end. I'll be serious about it. All right. Can't wait for that. Blue Train is talking about the next Birth Defect EP. Now, Nuit Blanche is like basically, how would you translate that accurately? It's not just a night where you can't find sleep, or it could be. But if you say, I'm gonna make a Nuit Blanche, it means that I'm gonna skipping the sleep night. Yeah, that record, I can't stress how happy I am with it. I'm also kind of happy there's only one, that it's not a new rabbit hole with dozens and dozens of records to investigate, like the next artist, which I'm starting to get fairly deep into. Did you get your copy already, Christopher? I don't know how this record landed on my radar, but it was on my want list for at least 6-7 years. And it's just a perfect record for me to enjoy right now these days. Now this is part of a monster release. One of these releases that on the paper looks interesting, also fairly esoteric. And that you never know if you're gonna get it. You're probably never gonna stumble upon it in a shop. One of you may. But all of us for sure not, especially considering how small the pressing on that one was. But that made it quite expensive. Not crazy expensive considering, but still a lot of money. Which means there are a couple of copies available, if I'm not mistaken. I'll buy it not cheap, but something I decided I'm gonna pull the trigger. I made an offer to someone and I could live with it. It's currently 3 copies of it on Discogs. This is Hartmut Gerken with Michael Ronta. Recorded in Bangkok, December 11th, 1976. Hartmut plays piano, prepared piano, piano strings, Tibetan ting shak, water ting shak. I mean, the list of instruments that Hartmut plays and Michael Ronta plays, it's just not necessarily, Ivan, but they can be. This is part of a 10 LP box set. Omicro Omega. Ten LP featuring 2 LPs of unreleased cluster music. The first incarnation with Konrad Schnitzler. A whole LP of film music by Konrad Schnitzler. And much more. Arthur Doyle. And as with Cubico, 50 copies of this. Plus an additional 26 with the 26 letters of the alphabet, which is an even more limited edition of this featuring an additional 7-inch. And I believe there was like 20 copies that were complimentary for the artists involved. This came out when, like 13 years ago or so? Oh, 15 years ago. The guy from Cubico had been in like outsider music for a long time. He's an Italian guy, so he became pen pal with a lot of these musicians when he was not at all fashionable. And through that connection, he got access to a lot of unreleased tapes, and that's what he did with that label. And I absolutely love this. Yeah, that's heavy swag indeed. There you go, live in Bangkok. That's unfortunate, Paul. That would have been fun. Hello, William. How are you doing? You're the only one warm here, huh? Oh, nice. Well, you know, it's the kind of records that live on your want list usually. And I just thought for myself, there's like 10 LPs on that. Let me be real with you. How much did I pay for it? I didn't get it for nothing, obviously, but I paid 280 euros for 10 LPs. That's for a very limited and exclusive archival package, and a beautiful package, textured. This is just amazing. We might investigate this more. Cheers. Aham Kumakwata. Ooh, yeah, it's minus. It's only like minus 6, 7 here. I have my reliable, ever reliable, and I have one more on my feet. See? Yeah, that's like 26, 27 euros a record. I can live with that. Good question. I mean, obviously not, but like good alternative history question. No, I keep right now. I've kept a heater in the studio, even when I'm not there. So my electricity bill is through the roof. Yeah, but that means nothing even, because Norway, like Sweden, is so long. So between Oslo and where you live, it must be a huge difference. Ooh, hello Pascal, how are you doing? So again, after 50 minutes already, huh? First little reminder of like if you are here, if you are live or not, and you've enjoyed the show so far, by all means leave a like to the video, or leave us a comment also to tell me what you thought, tell me what I should know. And if you really like it and you can afford it, by all means please support the stream by leaving a tip to your DJ in the coffee jar or the PayPal jar in the description of the video. Always helpful, especially to get to present and share records like that with you. Oh yeah. Hello Richie, how you doing? So between, I think it was between 75 and 77 or 8, Michael Renta and Hartmut Gierken, and sometimes with Connie Plank, they traveled the world. Sometimes they even had like a jazz saxophonist. We'll talk more about that soon. And they did a lot of recordings and live performances in Iran, in Iraq, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Bangkok in this case, Pakistan. And most of these were recorded because they were actually made in cultural institutes, but very few released. Hello Chris Hill, how are you doing? Aha, nurse was a good question. I don't know if I'm an expert, but I have a few insights. Yes, it is. This is long form, obviously. And this was a live performance. As you can hear, some coughing every now and then, either from the musicians or the audience, who knows. Oh yeah. I played Klaus Wiese. I think last time I played him was like 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, with a reissue of the first vinyl issue of his cassette from 86 or 88, don't remember. Really love his stuff. DJ Mr. Joel, are you trying to sell? Are you looking for customers? I don't know, I have a nice little hall of Nurses and Records, that's for sure. Good evening Manuel, how are you doing? Dress. So Crumb Duck was released, the split album with Stereolab. There's a CD of it, there's a 12-inch of it, or LP of it, there's a 10-inch of it and a 7-inch. New Dress exists on one of these other formats. Basically, to have everything on the CD, you have to have all three, and with all three, you have stuff that's not on the CD as well. So I guess I'm a little bit knowledgeable about Nurse's Wound. Tip your DJ of the night. Oh yeah. Hello, Jeffrey. I started Nurse's Wound when I was 16, not 14. Anthologie de la musique des Pygmées, aka Empire centrafricain. Triple LP on the Okora label. This is the first pressing from '78. This was later reissued as a box set, but this is the very first pressing. Amazing quality of ethno-musicology recordings in Centrafrique. Long form tracks, short ones, shorter ones. It's one of the absolute best packages on the Okora, I would say. Not cheap, but not terribly expensive. Also considering it's a free LP package. So a world where everything was involved in the music. The old ones, the kids, nature around, just about everything. Handball, huh? Well, snowy and cold here as well. Cheers, Paul. Not on Drag City, on a sub-label of Drag City, run by IMHO, right? Yeah. Yeah, Thomas, even their top 50, I wasn't so sure about it. He's referring to the Wire 2025 top records, which is always interesting to read. There was only like 2 or 3 records on it that I would rate so high. Cheers, Callum. Yeah, Streamline, thank you. Streamline, which also issued records by Mimir, collaboration of Organum and legendary Pink Dots, really cool stuff. So let's see if I can find you the link for the Okora record, which we'll visit some more. Yeah, that was not Jimoro, that was Christophe Heman. You're right, Manuel. Thank you for correcting me. Here's the previous record. What are we listening to now, though? French private press affair. Last year I played an album by a French fusion band called the LBC Trio. Pretty cool record. Very spiritual fusion and not noodly at all. What stood apart in it for me was the violin. So of course I investigated. And this is one of the two records, I believe, by Jean-Claude Camor, who plays the violin on the LBC Trio album. And this is, he had like 3 albums, but this is the only one that came out on vinyl. Straits. Yeah, they were quite smart in the 90s, Dom. Hello Eddie, how you doing? So this features Jean-Claude Camors on violin, voice and keyboards, Denis Barbier on saxophone alto, and Armand Amar on percussion. So basically a lot of overdubbing. Bulles et Boules is the name of that track. Fire. Let's play another little track here. That might be my favorite track of the album, but like it's takes a while to get through the whole thing because it goes into so many directions. When was this released? 1988. What a joy when you get records like that, when you get aware of these and when you let them enter your life. Every now and then there's copies available of that. It's not an... I think I paid 40 euros for it, which is, I believe, what you should pay. I see a copy of it, it sold like a week ago. So many directions where music can take us. I think for this week's blurb in the description of the video, I wrote something a little bit about that, how even more in these troubled times, embracing the universal nature of music and accepting the universal nature of music seems to be the only way to go. And the best way to embrace music, I would say, as well. Oh, okay, well, the whole album goes in so many directions though, but experimental music for sure, with lots of melodies. I need to get to you sometime, Ivan, huh? I don't think I know it. I know I've listened to it when it was released. I thought it was alright. Maybe not something I needed, but sorry. So we're back in Centrafrique with a more rhythmic track. Quite long form, actually. I thought we could delve into that a little bit more. And less a focus on younger voices like the track we listened before that. It was mostly kids, and this one is more of an intergenerational feature of the Empire Village. So basic, huh? A private press, but still has the SACEM logo, which means this was copyrighted. France has a fairly unique status for artists. It would be a little bit complicated to get into in just under a minute. But the status, the intermittent du spectacle, intermediary of show business. Basically, if you can justify a certain amount of hours as a professional musician every year, or every 11 months, you get a salary from the state, a monthly salary for a certain extent of time until you have to justify again a certain minimum amount of hours. And guys like that, they probably lived and managed to express themselves thanks to that system. Thank you, I'm the Dead. I'm the Dead, thank you for leaving a very nice little tip in the coffee jar and fucking with me with handball. For our American friends, or North American friends, you don't know how handball is important in sports here in Europe. And it's the the European Championship right now, yeah, which is even bigger than the World Championship. Since the best nations are always France, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Germany, and Spain, Iceland. Cheers, Daniel. Huh? Yeah. This is so good. Hello, Jose. Yeah. It's a fun sport, Chris. You have to be a little strong and big, though, which you are. Even if we all get soft with time, huh? DJ Mr. Joel, remind that to me in the comments. Thank you. in the comment of the video later. Yeah. Oh well. Next one is for Ivan, by the way. Mauricio, thank you so much for leaving a very nice tip in the coffee jar as well. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. Getting close to my objective, I think. Yeah, I'm like 80% into what I hope for tonight. If we get above, I won't complain. The Billiard Hooligans, Steve Davis. Is Steve out tonight? Is he having a beer or is he amongst us tonight? Yeah, that was quite something, Daniel. I agree. Carl Appel, yeah, I have that record. It's amazing. The whole packaging is crazy. That's one of my top 100 favorite records ever, Analog 76, I would say. Slow motion clubbing, yeah? Yeah, glad you liked it, Pascal. This is Locus Solus from 2011. Basically, this is DJ Harvey, a DJ Harvey dub mix. Double 12-inch EP. Let's do it. Oh yeah. When it's good, it's good. I don't like everything. I'm not like a DJ Harvey cultist like there are some. But tracks like that, I mean, back then, would I? Yeah, I would still buy this. Cheers, Billy Bob, for a very nice tip as well in the coffee jar. form dubby disco, modern disco like that, yeah. It's always also fun to go back to records you were really into 15, 20 years ago and see if which ones still have the edge. And this one does. Armchair disco. Yeah. Just made me think of something. Kumquat. I love Rose's passive-aggressive dissing of this. It's the DJ Harvey dub mix. So the Harvey long dub. There's also a remix by Ivan's fellow Norwegians Lindström and Prince Thomas. There's a remix by Andrew Weatherall. And an Emperor Machine remix. But this is just at the crossroad of quite a few things, I would say. And it's also a special time in club music that is gone, I would say. I have such slow tracks with such a groovy, funky bass. I love John Bender. And at the same time, it is sort of a psych rock, psych yacht rock, psych yacht rock track, yeah, sugar. That synth, yeah. Cheers, it means a lot, Haram Kumquat. I haven't played that one in a long time. There's a lot of dust on the needle right now. And this next one is to you, ahama kumquat. That's the dusty dub. Hein? 8:08, we're getting ready for midnight. Hello Giku. This one takes us back as well, huh? Some 2001. Listening to Theo Parrish, Insane Asylum, on his own sound signature label. So psychedelic techno, like raw techno. Almost. Normally, I'm more of an Omar-esque guy. But when Theo Parrish gets freaky, ooh. Salut Monsieur Hahahiho. Dusty dubby. Minimal techno, or it's not minimal techno, but it is minimal for sure. This is Detroit. Thank you, Ivan, for leaving a nice little tip in the coffee jar as well. Music is the best medicine. Thank you, Ivan. Robert Hood, but a little more psychedelic, I would say. I love Robert Hood. This is epic. Yeah. Buenos Aires. Hello, Maria Novelle. How you doing? See how little you need to make a banger like that? Bass drum, a little synth, and some white noise that you just fuck around with. Yeah, 12 inches, the best. Hello Edward, how you doing? This is pure Detroit music. Huh? When 2001, how was Detroit faring? Huh? Was not yet at its lowest, but it was not far from that, wasn't it? lately I bought a fair amount of library music. The result of this I will soon share with you. Stuff that had been on my radar for decades, but you know, you have to be patient sometimes. Xerosine, hello. Oh yeah. Acid indigestion, Duke Motor. Yeah, for sure. Or Computer Madness, that's the track I think you're thinking of. Yeah, a lot of cool syncopation. But while making these library soundtrack purchases, the seller suggested a few to me, and suggested one I already had, but I hadn't listened to in a long time. So that's the next thing we're gonna listen to. Chicago House is my favorite dance music. It's what make me aware of where my body has a space in music. Rosé and where his mind takes him, huh? Yeah, I think this defines it very well. Simple but difficult to do well, and simple but also not complex in the sense of compositional complex, but unpredictable in a very cyclic way, shuggy. So like the stream, like the video if you haven't already, huh? Tonight is a little more free form, as I didn't plan to play that track, just got into it thanks to Haram Kumquat, and I thank you, Haram, for getting us on that path. And if you can also, again, support the stream by tipping your DJ of the night. Follow the link in the description of the video. Yeah, really fun to mix. Yeah, so Norway is a new disco territory for sure. Yeah, so that next record used to be a little sort of semi-anonymous library record, but when you'll hear it, maybe it shouldn't be that anonymous. So 100 people here. That's nice. I don't think so. This French composer Michel Gonnet, SO4H2 chemical formula, the electronic area on Mondiophone. All the records on Mondiophone look like that with description. So right now we're listening to opening Afropop, piccolo, violin, guitar, bass, percussion. The organ just arrived. The whole record is great. 5 copies of it available on Discogs. Not of them, all of them in the best shape. I've never played that one before. There's so many records like that aren't really on anyone's radar because French library. Although there still is like 261 people who have this in their want list, huh? There you go, here's the link for the record. The violin here, so good. Oh, I'm wrong, that's not the track I thought I was playing. I'm playing Magnesium 1.7, supposedly free jazz. Percussion, bass, guitar, distorted guitar, flute, guitar, violin, organ, phased guitar, flute and guitar, violin, guitar and piccolo, fade out. Yeah. I'm gonna let it play to the next track because next track is very different and dope as well. I mean, the whole album is great, but ooh, disco time, huh? Cheers, Callum. See you next time. And if you can check the rest of the stream later and let me know what you thought. Yeah, this sort of moog drum percussion, yeah, I love that. You find stuff like that with Daniel Humer and also other Michel Gonnet records that are very well worth getting. Always the critic, yeah. So this one is called Explosive something? Explosive. Percussion soli tutti. Percussion soli tutti. Percussions al fine. They are, see, this label had different categories: contemporary music, pop, big band, children music, descriptive, classical, neoclassical, percussion, electronic sound effects, jingles, red. Yeah, this is red. Electronic sound effects. Yeah, it's a good one that I don't think library heads rated that high. Oh, I see quite a few people have added it to their want list now already. Now, a sort of brand new record. I think it came out in late November. And when it was announced, I immediately bought it. I had it shipped to my friend Christopher in the UK. So it took a little while to reach me and to digest it. It was one of these rare cases where I felt like I'm taking a chance on this. I have a good feeling about it. I don't want to overthink it. And I was right, because 2 days later the record was sold out. Maybe even the very next day. And I still haven't really fully digested it. So here's what I'm gonna enjoy with you. Not for the first time, but yeah, taking my time with it, sharing it. Most indeed, Thomas. No, not library, but new records indeed. Thank you, Manuel, Gocho, and Grass, for both of you leaving nice tips in the coffee jar as well. Merci beaucoup. So this artist I know quite little about. Let's see if it's her first record or not. I believe it might just be. Oh yeah, so this is the first record, but this is basically CS and Creme. Shout out to Fred as well, who sent me a VCLT a couple of years ago of them. But this is a different project. It's not them, it's Oh well, it's them with someone called Kakuan from Japan, who I'm not familiar with, a percussion player, but this is Sarah Udden. Came out on Modern Love, so I wouldn't be surprised if this got reissued or repressed with a different color maybe. Yeah, because there's 5 copies of it on Discogs, but it's already at like the cheapest copy is at 68 euros. And this is supposed to be experimental drone music according to Discogs. Obviously this is very intense, sort of tribal industrial percussion with very nice droney pads there. The other side is more droney, you would say, or more ambient. Good night, Future Phase. See you later, and let me know if you watch the rest. Hello, Vinyl Joe. How you doing? I'm in a good mood tonight, huh? Good night to you too, Billy Bob. We were a handful, like a good, 9,804 people for quite some time. That felt nice to be that many together, investigating music a little bit on the outside. Next one is going to be fairly outside as well. It has a sort of tabla feeling a little bit, but I would assume... Oh, maybe you're right. It's obviously treated and quintessized. Fallout 2 vibes. Huh. Are you, by any chance, talking about... What's his name? Mark Morgan? The guy who did the soundtrack on Fallout? I'm not into video games, but interesting fact about Fallout is the guy who did the music for that video game that is currently a TV show on Netflix or Apple TV, I'm not sure. Well, the creator of the game is a big fan of ambient electronic music, and so he gave a bunch of references to the composer of the soundtrack of that movie, of that video game. And the one that was most influential for him was a compilation called Ambient Isolationism Volume 4, curated by Kevin Martin of Techno Animal, The Bug, God, etc. Released on Island Records, featuring Thomas Cunner, Aphex Twin, La Bradford, Maine, Scorn, KGINO, I think, Inferno Disco Inferno, sorry. Who else? Seafield. That record is a trip. 2 equals 2. 4-track. A side-long track that we're listening to right now, and 3 other ones. Exactly. It's a double CD. Never was released on vinyl, unfortunately. There's also an AMM track, if I remember correctly. Paul Schütze, probably. LOL. Final. From the top of my head. Yeah, absolutely insane compilation of original, modern, new electronic ambient from the early 90s. Yes, Robert Hampson from Loop. Hello Bobby, how you doing? On Virgin for sure, like that's quite something. Yeah, Soviet France, yeah. The Soviet France track got compiled on the second volume of these compilations on vinyl on demand when they reissued the whole thing under Chasse 1, 2, 3 that you could buy individually. Sort of parallel to Cut Hands, I would say this, but a little less hectic. Yeah, I really like this. Dubby, tribal. It's not miles away, I would agree to that, yeah. Ooh, yeah. This one, DJ Mr. Joel. That's the cover. It was a while since I did one of these, huh? You name something and I just... We're not miles away from Musin Goes either. But when he does drums like that, or a little bit like that, it always gets too distorted for my taste. I'm not sure, Grass, but it's possible. Had to do it. It's not that I had to do it, I just thought like, I think it's about there. Oh, it is. Cheers, Millennium Mambo, for leaving a nice little tip in the coffee jar as well. Merci beaucoup. G Foblbar. You are 1 hour and 51 plus minutes late, but you have all the time in the world to recap in about 30-40 minutes. Ah, nice, John. How are you doing, John? Are you done with work or still there? Ah, I remember Electrolux, the label, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. They might be from Australia, yeah. Next record is also from Australia, incidentally. And that was also a journey to get this. Ah, well, courage. Oh, hope you had fun. Andai, how was it? Okay, so next one is gonna go even deeper into sort of mental abstract territories. Just got this today. I'm playing this for the very first time. It's a record from an artist who I played her album that came out last year and I was very impressed with it. So I looked through her discography and found out she made that record for a museum in Australia. This is Alexandra Spence. This is field recordings, but not just that. It gets into, she adds music, electronics, and various sounds. Sort of a musique concrète affair. So the Institute of Modern Art in Melbourne. Well, they did a series of sound installations, and then they did 3 LPs featuring 2 of these installations on each. So 6 in total, 3 records, 6 sides. And they recorded it and they did laugh cut editions of these. Alexandra Spence, Storm. A field is a song. Nice, John. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some, like a lot of the fans love them and that album, and some have been more critical, but that's good to know that it's a record that suits itself well for live. Hallelujah! John. Cheers, Mike. Notes and tones. Thank you for a very nice tip in the coffee jar. Which reminds me, I might have had someone come tonight during the stream, but so it will be another time. So Gidget and Magic Barber will be happy. Doesn't mean I can't play the record. Mike will know what I'm talking about. So this is a field recording slash installation, or an art and sound art installation based on field recordings, and I find this superb. Have you used frequencies from field recordings and recontextualized them into a narrative musical piece? Ooh. Oh, this is beautiful. Huh. I don't remember that one. Oh yeah, I remember that one. It was a bit too hard for me, that one, if I remember correctly. Wow, this is monstrously beautiful. So this was released in 2024. I'm going to give you the link for this so you can put this as a reminder until you may find a copy. So the way I got it is that I just tracked down the sub-website of the museum, and so that they still had copies of this in their shop, in their web shop, and that's how I got it. But I think it's gone now. Look it up, you never know. Yeah, Brother of the Bomb is the album, yeah. Had some good tunes. Oh, I love Saeed. Oh, you're in Moscow, Aham Kumquat. Antipop Consortium in Moscow, interesting. I was quite good friends with Beans. The birds. Yeah. Sometimes it's like that, huh? But as you see, before I got it, it was still limited that way, and I managed to get a copy, so... And it was very cheap. It was like 20 Australian dollars, which is like $12 or so. And then there was the the matter of shipping. That's a whole different thing, but cheers, that man. Thank you, have a good night to you yourself. See you soon. superb augmented field recordings. We're not miles away from miscegenation here, but at the same time I would say it's a whole different thing. Salut Eclectivinyle, see you soon. Cheers. So next record is sort of a New York affair. Certainly came out on the New York label. I think on Thai, that's the best combination in a way, because something scary is exciting. Scary is excitement, isn't it? So it means it kind of runs under your skin a little bit, but in a way that also gives you goosebumps. So nice one, Andorra. L'image, nice. Oh yeah, for sure, Ivan. These are targeted field recordings and then put together and put into a musical linear narrative. When I say linear, I mean obviously that this has a start, a middle and an end, and then so that it's telling a story like a regular piece of music. Although you could say that songs is a different format. The song has a beginning, middle and end, but the text could also be a sort of monolithic, its own thing, its own monolithic thing. When you don't have text and just sounds, frequencies, I think the linearity becomes even more obvious, like in the movie. Cinéma pour l'oreille, as Michel was saying last week, especially that last track of his album of L'Image that we played and discussed last week. Hello Louis, I'm here every Friday, just come. Superb, Alexandra Spence. That's mighty. The latest solo album by Christopher Hoffman, cellist from New York, who moved into more countryside New York State house, formerly the house of an American ornithologist. Rex Brasher. The album is called Rex. It's a reflection on his investigations of the land around that house. Thirteen tracks. Street Hassle, yeah. Here's the record. Love how he plays the cello here like a bass. Yeah, it was just released, I think, yeah. Yeah? Yeah, don't buy this on Discogs. It's available in the various shops. It's not super limited, so you should be able to find it. It's really, really nice album. That, again, cello has been a very interesting instrument to investigate in the past few years in terms of new modern music. Lucie Rataillon. And this is something else. Christopher has been playing in many bands for 25 years now, I think. He's an accomplished musician and cinematographer. I think he does movies as well. So. Yeah, it's lovely when records open a wider world than just the music itself. I wouldn't say that the record really references ornithology directly. We've been talking about the birds quite a lot of late, but I guess that's nice as well, that the musician didn't go for the obvious thing and found his own personal path through the world that was awarded to him or left to him in that house and that land. Yeah, it's really a record that has proven multi-layered, I will say. And the snake. Birds and the snakes. Now one of the most intense records of the past few weeks. This one is for Bobby Braden, if he hasn't gotten it himself already. Thank you, Andrew, for leaving a nice tip in the coffee jar as well. Merci beaucoup, Andrew. Exactly, Richard Young. The second part of a sort of untold diptych on one of the sub-labels of Lumberton Company. It's on, actually more on the Fourth Dimension Records, run by Richo from Splintered. Zulacrex. Quite limited pressing. I mean, insane. Really, really, really great. Manuel is asking if it's a drum machine. Bobby, you saw him at Café Auto last weekend. Let us know. I don't think it is a drum machine. Well, to be fair, the record got delayed a little bit, so no one got it sooner than like 2 weeks ago, I would say, according to Richo. This is metal, in a way. Someone was asking me earlier about the Klaus Wiese. That's the one I played recently. Wow. Yeah, that's the duo, yeah, I saw that. G-MacG, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, this is no drum machine. Yeah, Fabio Orsi, interesting. Yes, I did. Really, really solid album. Yeah, I saw that on the... Not, if I remember correctly, not my favorite one, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, at times it feels a sort of like vignette, but no, it's a really, really solid entry in Peter Gordon and David Cunningham's discography. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Next is a record. I'm not totally sure I played it. I know I showed it, I talked about it. It was one of my biggest finds in Denbush, a record that I had been after and that had that turned into that reached the top 3 spots of my want list last year, and I managed to get it. And out of the 3 albums of that artist, I would say it's my least favorite of the 3, but I still find it very interesting. I mean, a bit more poppy than his other stuff. This is sort of a religious metal trance ceremony. Just imagine a cult of both the musician and the cultists, or the devotees, the believers, becoming one because of the music. The musicians, they channel something to the audience, which the bodies and minds perceive and embrace, and it becomes a sort of looping energy between the musicians and the audience. But this is extremely intense, and at the same time very psychedelic, I would say. Next we're going to Egypt, and if you haven't already, by all means please leave a like to the video, leave a comment to the video if you're watching this not during the live broadcast, and even if you are watching during the live broadcast, if later on you have something to say, by all means please do. And if you really like the stream tonight and want to support the channel, by all means leave a tip to your DJ. Follow the link in the description of the video, the Ko-fi link or the PayPal link. Very instrumental in this happening every week. This is how I can present all of these records to you while they're still available, or when they become part of the zeitgeist, at least mine. Yeah. I can see how it would not necessarily match the moment, but it would be part of the ritual. You leave the ceremony in the right mindset to lose your virginity. I'm a latecomer to Richard Youngs. I had a couple of records of his without having noticed really his place in experimental music and independent music. He's been at it since the very late 80s. And it was our friend Bobby who we listened to last week, by the way, who made me take him a little more seriously. At least go and do a deep dive in his discography and come back with a lot of treasures. Thank you, John Levinson. Shout out to Minneapolis for sure. Already last week I was weirded out when I made a reference to the civil rights struggles movement, and someone we're fine with wasn't too happy about that. And what happened the very next day made me think that we really can't afford to lose our focus on what is going on in Minneapolis. It's sort of ground zero of the survival of a lot of ideas and concepts that are crucial and dear to us, to most of us here, I would assume. Well, there's quite some look in the news, Aram Kumquat. If you're in Moscow, I don't know how easy it is to look in the news actually. But the immigration police, ICE, it has been sort of terrorizing the city. And there's been more than a few casualties there. Murder, yeah. Tambo, I don't know where it is. Please educate us. And I'm not like being ironic or dismissive. If like everyone has a life situation that might be very different than our own, and might be surprising, but it is also the world we live in. Yeah, the police murdered a few protesters last Saturday. A protester who was trying to help a woman who was being mishandled by the police got shot 10 times while on the floor by the police. See, it's interesting for us to know that like the news isn't widespread in the whole world. Egyptian. Camille Saint-Cache. Adoma. VTK. Master tabla player. His most pop album, you know. So the Richard Youngs album, if you like that, they only did 150 copies, so don't sleep on it. Here's the link on Discogs. it will fly off the shelf if it hasn't already. There's one copy on Discogs at 33 euros, which is kind of the price it went for. It got sold out at the source immediately. So if you like that, don't sleep on it. This one now, that's not a cheap record. That's a very rare record. And there's sort of a disco track on it. Oh yeah. Woo! So did I play that already? I think I haven't. I talked about it and I kept it sort of to myself, probably. Yeah, you're not gonna be happy when you see the price on that record. And I'm not really into tapes. If people give me a tape, I have a machine to play it, but like it's not my focus. I can't ever. It's too much if I go into tape as well. I mean. But Camille Senkesh has become a very important figure in my musical pantheon in the past year and a half. The records were on my want list for a long time. It took a while before I took a chance, thanks to you guys again. Like the part of the reason why I do this every week is so that it's a back and forth between us. And if you like this, Arlo, a little bit, yeah, a little younger, but maybe not. Cheers, Midoji Scali Lily. Yeah, it went up in price as well. So I hope everyone had fun tonight. I hope everyone who's watching this later will have fun as well. I hope that you have health insurance when you listen to this. Thank you, Thomas. Camille's here, he uses very subtle phaser on the tablas, as you can hear. Ooh. Yeah, we just passed the 2.5 hour mark, so that's it for today, I guess. Huh? Back to the warmth of the house for me soon. I hope you'll have a good weekend, a good night. I hope that this put you, your mind at rest a little bit or inspired you. And yeah, that was fun. I had a lot of records I couldn't wait to share, so the feeling is mutual, Grass. So let me thank Thomas, John, Andrew, Mike, Notes and Tones, Millennium Mambo, Grass, Manuel Gocho, Ivan the Music Man, Billy Bob, 1976, Mauricio Borba, I'm the Dead, Daniel, Cole Strain, Ryan Smith, Art 08, Joe Tunis, Carbon Records, OGCs, Bernd Euler, Chris, and Gidget. Thank you all for supporting the stream. If you guys haven't and feel like deserve a little tip tonight or today, whenever you're watching this, leave us a tip, follow the link. If you can't afford it, leave us a like and leave us a comment to let me know what you thought. Maria, welcome. It was nice to see you. I think it was Marianne or Maria. I think it was the first time I saw you here. So A1 Records, I don't know. See you next week. Thank you, my friend Alex, as well. Cheers. And typical, I end up the stream with an extremely rare and expensive record. Oh well. Good night, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Oh.